think probably after after about a month at Liverpool, I would say, because then I'd played, a couple of games, and I was seeing then that, I wasn't going to get thrown back into the reserves. I'd done well, started well. Graham thought highly of me, and I was being consistent at that time, so I was keeping my place. So then I started thinking, and it just sort of went so quick though, enjoying the moment, and just carried on playing. I think at that age, and I wasn't really thinking, I suppose, was it going to keep me place. I was just enjoying playing football. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about anything. It was playing for Liverpool Football Club and enjoying playing football.
And did that kind of surprise you? It was going so quickly, it was happening so quickly.
I think so. I mean, it's things like, press interviews and stuff like that. I wasn't used to anything like that, so all of a sudden you're bombarded and you're quite popular, and the newspapers want to do articles with you and that. So it's difficult, I think, for the till you get used to doing all these interviews and that. It's difficult, but that's what I wanted. I always wanted to play for Liverpool. So if you want to do that, you've got to take it all, haven't you? I think very, very special. Playing for Liverpool, I said it before, I've supported them all my life, and to get the fans, voting for you. It's a privilege, and it's the times when you go away to Asia and places like that you realise how much the fans appreciate you and like you. I also noticed that my granddad was in that poll as well. It was in the within 100. I think he was might have been 92 or something like that, and it was great to see on the television that the fans thought that highly of him as well, to get us both in the top 100. Yeah, I suppose it was. I mean, obviously I must have found it that difficult because I started off so well, but I quite a few times, and even now when I go away with the legends, now I sit in the changing rooms and and look opposite me, and we have now like Robbie Fowler and Steve McManaman, but then I used to sit in the changing rooms, and opposite me John Barnes, Ronnie Whelan, Steve Nicol. Steve Nicol was a great player, and just look across and just think, you've got the chance to play for Liverpool. That's why if we got beat, I'd probably find it harder than some players. I know everyone takes getting beat different, but I was the sulker. You only have to ask my wife when Liverpool got beat or we got beat. I'd go at home, wouldn't want to go out at night, and be sulking. Some players like to go out and have a beer, and it doesn't bother them as much. It used to bother me quite a bit. Probably because I was a Liverpool supporter as well. Well, my favourite player was Kenny Dalglish, absolute legend, and he was the pictures I'd have up on my wall and stuff like that. So he was there's obviously a lot of great players that played for Liverpool. Obviously I ended up being a right back, and Phil Neal, the amount of games that he played and consistent games he played for Liverpool, absolute legend as well. It was a good era there in the 80s, and it was good to watch. I've only actually met him a couple of times, but he's a great fella, and I was very, very nervous. Even now, if we go to the Christmas dues for the ex-players, it's great to see all the ex-players, but he's the king, isn't he? Yes. So even when I see him now, I get pretty nervous talking to him. It was great to have all my family there. They're up there in the stands, and funny enough, I'd played at Wembley before that. I'd been in February. Graham Taylor had picked me to play for England against France, so I'd been to Wembley, so not just as a fan, but I'd played there. So I think that probably helped with my nerves a little bit then. That I'd already played for England there. So but I'd been as a fan at Wembley and watched Liverpool win, and I wanted to then be a player and win as well. Walking up those Wembley steps and lifting that trophy up and knowing that you've got all your family there, it was great occasion. Yeah.
Because your granddad played in the 1950 FA Cup final.
That's right.
And you were to follow his footsteps in the 1992 FA Cup final. What was the mood like for the next few days in your household?
Yeah, I mean, well, I had to join up with England literally straight after, so I think I only went home for one day just to do the parade around Liverpool, and then I was straight back to Burnham Beach as I met up with England, so didn't really get a chance to see my family too much. I was away with England after that for a couple of weeks, but I know they were all proud, and I spoke to my granddad and that obviously on the phone, and it was like one thing from another, winning the FA Cup, but then not really having time to celebrate too much because then you were off with England. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, we travel over there with a Manchester United Legends team as well, and they say it themselves, from when we arrive at the airport to go to the hotel or to go to the stadium, it is full of Liverpool supporters, fanatical, and it's really great to go over there, to see them all. They obviously love Robbie Fowler. Robbie Fowler's the hero over there, and when we go to the game, more than 3/4 is Liverpool fans, and there's a little section of a couple of Manchester United fans, and singing "Never Walk Alone," and the flags are up, and it's like being back at Anfield. They never stop singing from the start of the tournament to the end, and we always love going over to play around Asia. We love it. I think it's got stronger. We were talking about this last time when we went over, again with the Manchester United lads. You'd have thought over the years that the tables would have turned a bit, where you'd have seen more Manchester United fans coming up, because they've had a great 20 years winning the league and all that, but it hasn't changed. We don't see it anyway. We still see it as it's just full of Liverpool fans. They love the history of the club, and they're stuck by us, because Liverpool has gone through a bad time in the last few years, and but they're still there, and that's what's nice to go over there and get all that support from the Asia fans. They're so privileged for us to come over. They're made up that we've come over, but we love going over there. Even at Easter, I took my family over to Thailand for a holiday there, and the Thai people are so friendly, and I wanted to show my children, what Asia's all about, and they enjoyed it. But yeah, we love going. I think we've got a couple more trips lined up before the end of the year, so